Okay, so now let's try to understand about aging of receivables method within the balance sheet approach. So let's try to understand through this an example that Amazon sells goods through the thousands of vendors, as you are aware, and collects receivable from them because a lot of people pay at a later point of time. At the year end, Amazon analyzes its $25,667 accounts receivable balance by the age category. So they have seen that a lot of people need to pay them, but some people who are due for payment are only $10,000, and the people who are going to pay within 31 to 60 days, basically we have sold them the goods, but around 31 to 60 days have been passed and they haven't paid to us. This is around $6,667. Similarly, the people who haven't paid up till 90 days are $5,000, and the people who have not paid since 90 days have been passed, they are around $4,000. So if you see that the people who are due within next 30 days, there are very less chance that they will have the bad debts, because only 30 days have been passed since they have their accounts became due. But the people who have not paid since last 90 days, the chances of them becoming uncollectible is very high. So here the percentage of uncollectibles are also mentioned, which is like how much uncollectible will be there based upon the current scenario. Now, if we multiply these 10,000 by 1%, which is uncollectible, we get the number of $100, which is our estimated uncollectible amount. Similarly, if we see this number of 6,667, that is our debtors, and 3% of that won't be payable to us, or there is a good chance that they won't pay, so this becomes $200. Similarly, out of this $5,000, 10% won't be paid, so this is $500, and this is based upon our historical experiences. Similarly, for this $4,000, 20% won't be paid, so that becomes $800. Now, based on that, we can say that our estimated uncollectible amount is $1,600. Now, based on this analysis, what Amazon will do, Amazon will simply create an allowance account, and that will show that around $1,600 won't be paid. So this $1,600 will be there. Now what will happen, let's take a scenario like wherein the allowance account is currently having $1,000 as a credit balance, which means like if this is the allowance account wherein $1,000 is sitting right now, and Amazon know that there will be total of $1,600 of bad debt, and right now the provision or the bucket in which the allowance account is sitting is around $1,000. So what they will do, they will create another allowance for how much, you can say they will create another allowance of $600. So for that, what will happen, they will pass an accounting entry wherein $600 will be sent to the bad debt account, and $600 allowance for doubtful debts will be created. In this way, what will happen, this 600 will reach to the provision for doubtful debts, or I can say allowance account, and there will be total of we can say $1,600 within this allowance account, and this allowance account is now having $1,600. So let's try to understand the same thing through the textbook concept. So what does the textbook simply says? It simply says that the aging of receivables method, or we can call it the balance sheet method, that says that this is a method of estimating uncollectible accounts based on how long receivable have been outstanding. So this is based upon the periodicity. We saw that the periodicity was here 30 days up to 60 days, 61 to 90 days, and over 90 days. So this is a balance sheet approach because these debt balances of debtors sits within the balance sheet. That's the reason that this method is known as the balance sheet approach. Now, what is the process? Process we have seen above, that we need to prepare an aging schedule of accounts receivable first. So this is the aging schedule, that what is the aging of all of these accounts receivable, all of these debtors. Once we create that aging schedule, we can simply while creating that aging schedule, we can group them by time, like current period, 31 to 60 days, 61 to 90, over 90, and so on, based upon the requirement of your company and the methodology you follow. Then we can assign the uncollectible percentage. Now these uncollectible percentage we have assigned. You will say, how do we know what is the uncollectible percentage? So this is a historical evidence, because your company is not new of 1 year or 2 years. These companies are existing for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and based upon history they know that how much people pay and how much people don't pay. So based upon historical, these number or these percentage will be given or assigned. Now after that, yeah, this is also written that this is based on the company's past experience. Now what we will do, we will simply multiply the balance in each category by the assigned percentage. So this is the thing which we have done. We have multiplied 10,000 by 1%, getting $100 as the uncollectible amount, and so on. So that multiplication we did, and finally we will sum the results across, and we will get the total provision required under the allowance for doubtful debts account. So how much total provision is required there, this will be created. The key and the important point here is that the aging method provides a more accurate estimate that the flat percentage of total receivable. Definitely this is a more accurate method. Why? Because you know that if somebody is due by 90 days, meaning that they haven't paid since 90 days, so there will be higher chance that it will be uncollectible. So this method is more accurate because this gives us directionally correct numbers how the bad debt will look like. Similarly, the older receivables are assigned higher collection percentage. What I have rightly said right now, that older receivables, higher uncollectible percentages, I can say assigned, because the likelihood of the collection from them decreases over time. So this was the important method of I can say aging of receivables based upon balance sheet approach, real world example.